Let's see what happens. Yo, what's going on, Samuel? What up, everybody who's coming in right now? I'm not sure how many pings are going to be sent out just because of like how Clubhouse has been lately. There's a whole other room going on with like all the bigger names kind of like pumping their shit, the actual Clubhouse staff and stuff like that. But I thought I would go ahead and do this room real quick. So if you were here last time, oh, by the way, if you want, go on liveonclubhouse.com right now. If you go to the website, you'll be able to see exactly what I'm talking about, and then you can just kind of have this PDF to download. If anybody wants to hop on stage, we can kind of hop on, have a conversation. There's about 16 new things that are being tested that are upcoming for Clubhouse in the near, or not Clubhouse, sorry, for Instagram in the near future. So if you want to come on, the way I wanted to kind of do it was talk about one of the new features coming out, maybe get some feedback, what people's thoughts were, how you'll use it, what you think would be good for, etc. And then we can move on to the next one. So if you want to, just go ahead and go to liveonclubhouse.com. You can kind of watch it as I'm talking about it and describing it. And then if you want to, you can also download the PDF and stuff like that. Just go ahead and message me on Instagram and just be like, give me or something like that. And then you'll be able to more or less just be able to have it. So real quick, if anybody wants to hop on stage, what up, Rocky, by the way, feel free to hop on. I'm not trying to really run this like a webinar. I'm just trying to be like, hey, here's what's coming up. If you guys want to talk and chat about it, by all means, feel free to. So, Rocky, at any point in time, feel free to chime in. All right, so Rocky, I don't know if you wanted to say hi or should I just get into it real quick?
Hi, Michael. Hello, everyone.
I like how you're just like, hi, okay, let's get back to it. Okay, so again, one last time, live on clubhouse.com. You can just check it out and see what I'm talking about. So, one thing that's supposed to be coming out, the first one, this one is called a collaborative post feature, which I thought was really, really interesting. So, I'm going to kind of read it, what's on screen, but y'all can just kind of read and follow along if you want or whatever way you want to go about it. But, collaborative post feature. Now, the collaborative post feature is more for creator counts. Right now, it's only for creator counts that are able to do this. And there's two versions of it. It's for post, and then there's one for stories. So right now, it's only available for post and stories for creator accounts that are select people. And what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to create events and add collaborators to that event. And you can also add people who follow you as a collaborator. The limit's 20 people. That's for the post itself. So, for example, if we're like creating kind of like a carousel post, instead of me having Schwan come onto my profile and create everything, you'd be like, Schwan, put your post in there. I'll put my post in there. Rocky, put your post in there. And it'll make like this kind of giant post that's like a really collaborative thing. And then the second part of that, stories. So you'll be able to share together in a collab. So you'll be able to find a topic, you'll be able to add collaborators to it, and then you can share stories for people who follow along to that story. I don't know how many people here are familiar with Snapchat, but it's almost like a Snapchat custom story where anybody who's a part of that story can collaborate into it, and then anybody who's watching it can see the different angles. So this could be really cool if you're at an event. Instead of looking up for the hashtag or if you're looking for the event tag or whatever, you could literally just be like, oh, I'm going to go follow Kiara, and Kiara's going to have all the people that are collaborating under her story, and you can kind of get that really customized kind of thing. So I thought that was really, really, really interesting. The idea of having a collaboration aspect to things versus just being, you got to kind of like do a lot of work to do essentially the exact same thing. If you're watching right now live on clubhouse.com, I'm going to go through a bunch of different screenshots. So the text isn't going to change, but the imagery is going to change. So you'll be able to see what it looks like. So if you're following along right now, when you make a post, kind of like how you'll be able to tag someone, like in a post, you'll be able to add or make a collaborator. And then from there, you'll select the person. Oh, yeah. One thing to note, too, the person has to follow you as well. So it's like I can't just add Gary Vee as a collaborator. Like we have to be mutually following one another. But then I'll add this person as a collaborator. And then it'll say, is it fine? And do you accept it? Do you want to make sure? And then you just say okay. And then at that point, they can pretty much do whatever they want to that post. They can delete it, they can edit it, they can add it, they can put hashtags in and stuff like that, which I thought was really interesting. And then the same thing with Instagram, there'll be a little collab sticker that you'll add the sticker to your Instagram story, and then boom, you'll be able to share it to them, and you guys can create this whole collab story. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I personally like that a lot. I think there's a lot of creativity that can be done there. I know Kiara and Schwan joined in and on stage, so I don't know if you guys want to, if you want to, no pressure, share your thoughts on it, maybe how you can see you're using it or some kind of creative marketing exploit to it. And if anybody's in the audience, like by all means, please hop in on stage. You don't have to like I just want to have a dialogue and not speaking out. But yeah, if anybody wants to weigh in, what your thoughts are, 'cause I thought it was pretty cool.
Kiara, you want to go first?
No, that's all you.
I know when you had posted about this, like on Facebook, what, yesterday or 2 days ago, that embedded autofill feature was the thing that like had me geeking out because I just know I have issues with doing like IG campaigns, and if someone can get their info in like once, maybe for like Spotify or their like Shopify account or something, we can get them like seamlessly engaging with us more often. So I don't know, you put it so well in that like PDF deck. So that bruh, I'm geeking out over that single feature.
Yeah, especially for like, well, the world's opening up again, or most of the world, I should say. Obviously, there's some places that are, harder than others. But, with festivals and concerts and bars opening up, I feel like so many people are wanting to just connect and share their experiences and kind of, do that whole thing. So I feel like this stuff would be really fun. I mean, someone like you, Schwan, I know that you had a bunch of artists that were together. That would have been pretty cool to see, like, the making of a song from different angles instead of you being like, oh, hey, Rocky, send it to me, and then I'll post it, and then I'll tag you. Like, that whole sloppy thing of just be like, yo, just throw it in the collab story, and we'll all be able to cross promo. Which, Schwan, I mean, for people who don't know who Schwan is, he's a crazy, crazy, brilliant strategist. Like, definitely follow him. If you guys were here when Schwan was around, like when he was really, really around on Clubhouse, you know what I'm talking about. He's kind of like a mirage these days. He kind of pops up, kind of dips in and out. But I can imagine for you, Schwan, how you would use something like this in terms of like cross promotion, cross pollination of like, hey, we'll do this, you do that. Let's kind of create, something kind of some kind of synergy and stuff. So, yeah, I don't know if Rocky had any thoughts on it, since I know you're all about Instagram.
Yeah, the first thing that came to my mind was hosting like virtual summits and stuff like that, how you can share that information with everyone.
Yeah, all these Clubhouse meetups that people are doing, like that would be super fun. I'm curious too, like, okay, so like this is more like the marketing aspect of me. I'm really, really curious of how audience data will come out from this, in terms of like, let's say I have a post and all of us are collaborators for creating custom audiences. Who's going to be able to share that data, and is it all going to be accumulatively, or is it just going to be individually based? Because if we're all collaborating on one post, then I wonder if I'll be able to get Dana. Why did I say that? Donna.
I don't know.
I,
I'm gonna go
I've never said that before.
You're in so much trouble.
No, but like, if I got her to do it and then I got Schwan to do it, if I can create a custom audience off that, and then on the low, I'm like, yo, I got about 30,000 people right now I can retarget for ads in the future. I feel like that would be kind of, I don't know, cause something coming in unique in terms of the marketing aspect of things. But I mean, I have no clue how that works right now. But yeah, okay, so I'm going to move on to the next one. Again, anybody, if you want, by the way, what I'm showing you and a Google Sheet, go to liveonclubhouse.com and you can see what I'm doing, but I'll also kind of just show you really quickly. If you want last month, or yeah, the last one I did too, I can send it to you, but I'll send you this PDF. You can download it, you can save it, you can, I don't know, use it, post it or whatever. And then I have a Google spreadsheet. So depending on how you like to see things or take in data, you can kind of look through there. So if you want it, just hit me up, send me a DM, just be like, give me it. Give me that. Yeah, send me give me that, and I'll know exactly what that means. All right. So, oh yeah, sorry, I got one more. The sticker. I forgot to go through this. This is like the collaborative stickers, so people can add it to their events like that. All right. So the next one, the second one, is a Reels trending tab. So apparently, there's going to be a new trending tab on Instagram that's specifically for Reels. To be honest, I'm going to just paraphrase everything here. It's almost exactly what TikTok has. So if you're on TikTok and you're going through like the little explore area, and it kind of shows, what's the most trending song or the trends or what, effects or whatever, it's pretty much Instagram just completely ripping exactly what TikTok has, which I think will be really, really interesting, because right now we have the explore feed for sure, but I think it caters a little bit more towards stories and posts, where I think Reels, they kind of thrown in there natively, but you can't really tell technically if it's a Reels other than the little icon in the bottom left. But now, apparently, they're carving out a very specific space with a little tab that you click, and boom, you're going to be brought to the Reels trending tab. So I think that'll be really interesting. I mean, Schwan, I'd be kind of curious for your thoughts on this. I have not seen a single viral trend emerge from Instagram Reels since the moment rolled out. I see every quote unquote trend that's emerged on Instagram Reels coming from TikTok. I haven't seen a single influencer become a big deal and go viral from Reels yet. I mean, maybe that'll happen, but I feel like that audience reach, hasn't really taken effect the same way that it has on TikTok. So I wonder, and I don't know if you want to weigh on this, Schwan, if this kind of thing will help cater to that a little bit more to kind of amplify and gamify things to be like, no, this song is going to blow up. Like you're going to see it everywhere. So I don't know if you want to weigh in, Sean, or anybody else on the Reels trending tab aspect.
I think it definitely can help. And there's only one creator, and it was like a one case like incident. It was like Karen X Chang. She did some kind of like camera trick video, and I saw it on IG first, and I was like, holy, like, oh my god, this is so sick. And then I saw it go viral on TikTok. I think like 3 or 4 days later, and I'm like, this is this past week. I'm like, I've never seen something like viral on IG first, and then it blows up on TikTok. So hopefully it changes it, because I know for a fact I'm finding like all my success in, okay, let me create the most viral stuff I can on TikTok and just like Millie rock that over to IG and YouTube Shorts, and it's been like cake. But yeah, hopefully this changes it, because I'd love to be able to, I don't know, treat IG the way I treat TikTok. So yeah, Karen X Chang is the only one I've seen so far.
She's amazing.
The reason why I like this trending tab is because on the Facebook business account, I don't have like all the good music, and that's exactly how I find my music. I'm having to go into Reels and then save it and then use the Reels music, because other than that, the music is trash. So this would help me a lot.
Yeah, I feel like there's like, I don't know, it might be a positive thing. And I think there's a lot of psychological stuff that happens, obviously, with like Instagram and social medias when they roll this out. It might be that they're forcing you to consume more content so that you get used to it, so that you have to find the audio. But I feel like personally, that's a little bit cumbersome. Like after 10 minutes of being like, I can't find anything for Instagram Reels, I feel like maybe you might feel a little more defeated. We're on TikTok. I mean, even when you go to add audio, it breaks it down by like playlists and categories. We're like, damn, like I could just find, it's just a music player at that point. It's so easy. So, I mean, I think it's safe to say that anything that TikTok does or rolls out that works, basically Instagram Reels is going to just copy at this point, because on this list that I have, there's like 2 more other things that are pretty much just TikTok stuff. So I think that's probably like a safe bet for anybody who's trying to get into Reels. If you missed the whole TikTok boat, you can still obviously blow up on TikTok. Schwan literally just working with someone and they're blowing up right now. But yeah, but I think like if you feel like you missed the boat, I think that's that unique thing now where it's like, hey, well, shit, that worked on TikTok, the whole, duet feature. Let me go try this over here on Instagram and kind of build this out and replicate and emulate it. So, yeah, and real quick, if anybody, I'm going to keep saying it for new people that are joining. If you just go live on clubhouse.com, there's like a little video I'm playing right here. And this is what it looks like. There's like the Reels, then you hit the word trending, and then it just slides over, and then you get to be able to do it. And there's like the little camera icon, so you can just click the camera, and exactly like TikTok, boom, you can just start using and making the video from it. Side note, super random, not related to Instagram, but I seen this yesterday. I don't know if you've seen this, Schwan. On YouTube, there's certain videos with audio now where underneath the video where there's like the like, the dislike, the share, there's another one that says, I forget what it says, create or creator or something like that. When you click it, it's basically this, but on YouTube Shorts. So you're able to take the audio from a YouTube video and make a YouTube short on it and kind of do a remix or whatever, which I thought was interesting. Only a few people or a few videos that I found had it, but thought that was kind of an interesting kind of side tangent to go off on real quick. Yeah, I wasn't sure if anybody else had any thoughts. Anybody want to hop on stage, give their impressions or their point of view? If not, I can keep moving to the next one. All right, cool. I'm just going to keep it moving. Let me move over here. All right, so this one was kind of interesting. This one, the third one, by the way, if anybody's watching this in the top right corner, this is where I'm getting all the information from. So I want to give full credit to the people who've leaked it, who are beta testers, etc. Like, definitely go check them out and follow them. This isn't me, like, having the inside knowledge. I'm just kind of gathering it all and testing and stuff like that. But the new one that was really interesting was that Instagram is working on simplifying its various video formats. So what they're doing is they're adding a new tab at the bottom. So you have like your post, you have the Reels, and now there's apparently they're testing a video tab. So when you click it, it'll just pull all your videos into one section. So you don't have to scroll through posts and find a video or go to IGTV or go to your Reels, etc. You would just click the video tab and you're just instantaneously brought to every single thing that's a video on your profile. I'm not technically sure the thought process behind it. Maybe it's like a move more towards video and them kind of putting a heavier emphasis on it. But I thought it was an interesting test that they're running. I don't know if anybody wants to weigh in on this, but like I don't know if that would make my experience better or worse or what that would be like. But apparently they want to create a single tab for videos, so I guess that's being tested. And I was told that this is being tested like in a wide amount of people too. It's not like a little bit of people have this, like a lot do. So kind of interesting. Donna, I seen you on mute. So I don't know if you want to weigh in.
Yeah. Well, so okay, so you'd be able to see all IGTV plus feed videos. So those are just anything under a minute. And reels. I mean, what's going to be the difference there, other than just an IGTV page?
I have no clue, and that is an amazing question that I was wondering too. I feel like I don't know how much time is spent watching video or consuming video on people's profiles versus like regular posts, but I feel like if it's a lot, I'm not sure if I want to go check the regular post with photos and carousel as much if I'm just there to check out videos. And I mean, obviously I like photos and stuff like that too, and carousels and all that good stuff, but I'm not sure how that's going to impact things. I don't know. Honestly, I would love to know the reasoning behind it because it doesn't really make sense to me too much.
But last night Rocky had a room about IGTV, and we were talking about this. I personally, and I guess some people do this, and I'd be so interested to know who does this. Like who here, because I create IGTVs all the time. You know, I go live once a week. Who here consumes IGTVs? Like goes onto the IGTV tab and like sits there and watches IGTV. I'm so interested to know who does that. Dylan, you do?
Never in a million
Never.
years. I don't even click
Exactly.
on the Reels tab. I mean, like, unless it's on accident. But yeah, I mean, but then again, I'm a creator, not a consumer. So I'm not really on the app to consume content. I create the content. Hopefully other people consume it. But yeah, I've never clicked on the IGTV side, the Reels side. I think if anything, I like will watch maybe one of my friends' videos, and then I'll get wrapped up in a scroll, and then I almost go, wait, I'm not on TikTok. I thought I was watching TikTok, and then I realize I'm on Instagram, and it throws me off, and then I go to TikTok.
I'm just
That
sick of
was
seeing the same reels over and over. That's why I don't consume reels, because I don't know, something in my algorithm just shows me the same like 8 girls pointing.
That's so funny the way you described it, because yeah, that's been my experience for the most part too. Especially, I don't want to critique Instagram too much because I know it's still being built out and it's still being done. I just feel like they're trying to do what WeChat does in China, but I feel like they're rushing the product too much, and there's just too much shit going on, and the things that they have beforehand haven't really taken on. Like in IGTV, I never click that tab unless it's something that's already placed in my feed or it's a part of someone's story where I'm like, oh, okay, let me go watch it now because I'm prompted to. But I never have the habit or the intention to be like, I'm gonna go check out what Brian has on IGTV. It's just not there for the most part. Apparently, though, through their data, they said there's a shit ton of people that actually watch and consume IGTV. I don't know who they are. It ain't me. It's nobody that I know, but apparently people are.
I think those are the users that don't use TikTok or don't use the other platforms. It's going to be the same people that go on Facebook and use the Facebook version of Clubhouse. There's always people that just they stay with one app. Like they'll never go to another app. So I think all the diehard Instagram people, those are the people that are going, we love these new features. All right, this is great. Why would I be on TikTok? I'm going to stay on Instagram. So I think that's what it is.
Yeah, one good point I think to make, and there's a couple people on that hopped on stage. So real quick for everybody who's new, I'm just going through a bunch of new features that are being tested and rolling out and stuff like that. So if you want to see what it looks like, I'm doing a live screen share live on Clubhouse.com. And if you want the PDF and the Google Sheet, just feel free to DM me on Instagram. I'll send it to you. It's just a Google Drive folder, so it's not trying to sell you anything like that. But one thing I want to mention really quickly, and I know there's other people on stage, so maybe they want to hop in on this. I think one thing to mention and to note is that Instagram's still growing, but it's outside of the Western countries now. And so maybe for them, they're like, yeah, people in America don't, consume IGTV, but people in India love it, and they're the ones who are really like thriving on it because maybe they're not so addicted or hooked on YouTube or something like that. So I wonder if there's some kind of a data point in the back end where it's like, yeah, we know people in the Western world don't care, but these other countries that we're growing or trying to expand into, they love this shit. So even if y'all don't like it, we still got, a good demographic amount. Like Facebook videos. I don't know how many people consume Facebook video, but they get insane reach, and I watch some, but nothing like YouTube. But when you look at their numbers and their metrics, they're kind of incredible. So yeah, I don't know if anybody want to hop in. I know Chris and Brian and Cassandra and the other Chris and everybody else, Elizabeth, hopped in. So I don't know if you want to weigh in on this video format tab.
If no one else is hopping in, I'm going to say one more thing. I think the difference is, I was on a call today with a client who he has a very, very successful business, but he doesn't understand Instagram. He's like, Donna, when I go on Instagram, I feel like it's a different language. There's so many things to do. There's so many places to go and so many places to create content. I don't know what to do and where to do it and how to do it. Whereas, like, if you come here on Clubhouse, right, you're here just for one reason, to listen or to speak in rooms. You can't write anything. You can't create pictures. If you go anywhere else and create, TikTok even, it's just to, consume video. Instagram has way too many things right now, and that I think is pushing a lot of newer users away. Like that kind of person who has a really successful business knows he needs an Instagram because of Clubhouse, but he's like, what the fuck is this, right?
Yeah, this is Milan speaking. Wanted to weigh in on the video tab, and also thinking about just people who use all of the features. Like, think of people who have post, reels, IGTVs, if they make filters, like that top line and tab gets crazy. It gets crazy. And we think that there's at least 2 or 3 tabs that could consolidate into this one. Granted, I don't have all of them, but I do go on accounts and they do. So I don't think it's like the worst decision ever. I think it'll just be like how they integrate them all together when you're scrolling, because if you're scrolling and you're looking for short form content and then all of a sudden an IGTV pops up that's like three minutes to God knows how long, that would be interesting just from a user standpoint. But this is Milan, I'm done speaking.
Yeah, totally agree. Okay, so I know there's a bunch of other people. If there's anybody else who wants to weigh in, if not, I'll move on to the next thing that's coming out.
Hey, Michael, there's Chris at the bottom. Is the live stream working for anybody else here? Because for me, I'm getting a bug with the loading of it. Can anyone confirm it is? Okay. Maybe it's on my end. I'll check it out. Thank you.
Super sorry for that. If you want, just DM me. I can send you the PDF and stuff so you can follow along on your own. But yeah, you just refresh it. It should work. It's through YouTube, so it's like pretty reliable. All right, so I'm going to keep it moving. Let's go to the next one. This one I'm just going to run through quick. It's pretty obvious. I made this, by the way, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I just haven't done a room about it, so it's just been sitting here. But Instagram Live now has audio only. I'm pretty sure most people now already know that. When I first talked about this or made this, it was brand new. But basically, you can go live. You can just minimize your video camera. Does a little icon of your profile photo, and then you could just go live and do audio only. So obviously, they're kind of prepping for the whole rooms dynamic and getting people on there. But I think most people probably know this, so I don't think we have to spend too much time on it. But if anybody wants to weigh in on it, feel free to. I haven't tested it yet, to be honest. I would probably do it audio only with somebody live, just because I think it's the same thing as Clubhouse. It's a little bit easier. You don't have to have like good lighting and all that stuff. But I haven't personally used it at all. I don't know if anybody else has tried it or has any thoughts. If not, we could just kind of move it to the next one.
I cannot think about why I would use that. I don't know about anybody else. I don't know. I don't think that showing your face is too difficult, but anybody actually have a good use case of why they would do that versus,
yes,
I don't know, like put a hat on?
I have one. You're driving or you're in bed with your girlfriend and you're both naked, but you want to be on the feed. Or you're, there's a lot of reasons why
if I'm naked with a girl in bed, I don't think I'm going to be on.
Maybe I'm taking a shit and I don't want anyone looking at me. I think there's a lot of reasons you might want to do it.
Chris, I'm wondering why you're in a room naked with a lady and you want to be on Instagram. I'm so lost right now.
That was a hypothetical, but you're right. In reality, that probably would not happen.
That's for OnlyFans, Chris.
That's the other side.
Wrong app.
The first, this is Rocky speaking. The first thing I immediately thought about is all my customers and clients that are scared to get on camera. Like, they don't want to go live because they don't want to be seen on camera. This is perfect for them because they're already doing it on Clubhouse.
That's a good point.
Yeah, but then don't go on Instagram. Like, why are we on Instagram? Instagram is to show image and video.
Yeah, but you come on. How many people have we convinced to go live with their business and they don't want to go live? I talk about it all the time, and nobody wants to go live because they're scared. So this is absolutely perfect.
Yeah, I didn't think of that before, Rocky, but that's such a good point. Yeah, it's a nice barrier to entry because I'll be honest, like if I'm not like done up or not done up, but you know what I mean, like if I'm in the dark and my hair's looking all disastrous or whatever,
Michael, are you
I'm
done
not.
up right now?
I'm a little bit done up. I got new glasses. I can actually see again. This is kind of cool. I can see shapes. But yeah, like I would probably not more likely do it versus if I'm just in bed laying there. I'm like, well, I can just do audio. This is kind of easy. So yeah, I didn't think about that before, Rocky, but that's a really, really good point. The only thing that I thought of ahead of time was bandwidth. So if you have like really, really bad connection, or if you're in a part of the world where like 5G or 4G is not available, I could see that being a nice alternative to be like, oh, let me just switch to audio only, and I don't have to worry about cutting in and out. But that was the only thing that I thought of, Rocky. That was a good perspective that you had. All right. I'm gonna just keep it moving unless somebody had another thing. If not, I feel like most people kind of already know about the audio aspect of things. All right, so this one's a quick one. They changed the button on people's profiles to sell instead of shop. So I thought that was kind of a simple little copy kind of like switch out. I think shop was kind of interesting, but I feel like most people don't even really know what's going on with it for the most part. Like shop, I don't think they really knew that it was a store. So yeah, they just changed it to sale. We don't really need to talk too much about it unless you guys want to, but I don't know. For anybody who has a store, maybe to their account, maybe they can talk about like how it increased their their click through rate. But I'm not sure, to be honest.
So sell is probably going to be for the user that wants to sell something. So it's probably to encourage them to monetize their own store on Instagram. It's just probably discovery to get more people to opt into selling on Instagram, I'm guessing, if you have a shop.
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't seen the one that we did last, I don't know, the last one that I did, there was a lot of emphasis on the stores and the shops and stuff like that. And there's a few more updates that I want to talk about that have to do with the sale and the shop and all that. So I could see this, and maybe I don't know if anybody who wants to weigh in here that's in the e-com space, but or even the ad space, but with the whole iOS update, people aren't gonna be able to do good targeting. So I think this is maybe their move to be like, all right, if we can't bring them to Shopify and all that stuff, then let's just build out our stores within here and our embedded browser and all this stuff, and let's just build it in-house and fuck them. Like we don't have to worry about these other platforms or operating systems and stuff like that. So I think maybe it's just that little tiny thing. Maybe they have research on like, hey, sale led to 3 out of 5 people clicking it, and maybe they can get retargeted or something in the future. But thought it was an interesting one. Nothing too crazy, but still. Right, go ahead. Oh, I thought I heard somebody mute. Okay, I'm gonna keep it moving. By the way, for anybody who's on stage, chime in at any point in time. I really just want to run it. Like, let's just have a convo over like what's the new update, and then kind of keep it moving. So this one is another one called the Instagram Stitch feature, which is pretty much exactly what TikTok has. So it's a new feature for Instagram that's rolling out, well, Instagram Reels, where you're gonna be able to stitch and edit a copy of an existing reel. So you could trim a portion out and you could throw yours in. So if it's someone being like, tell me you're single without telling me you're single, and then you could just stitch that part in that you want to. So it's pretty obvious. It's the same stuff that TikTok has, but I think I don't. I wish Lonnie was here. I'm not super convinced that Instagram's Reels are working as well as I think they thought it was. Because I feel like all the trends that I see on Reels are literally just from TikTok. I haven't seen anything emerge from Instagram, like Instagram in general, but Instagram Reels specifically, that's like leading me to believe that's going to get people to be more creative using the stitch or the remix feature. I could be wrong, but I feel like it's just them, I don't know, throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping something sticks and like, okay, maybe this will get them to create original content here, but I don't feel
Yeah,
like it's
I
really
mean,
working.
I've never even heard the term real trend, right? Like they're all TikTok trends. I mean, has anyone ever heard someone refer to something as a real trend? I haven't.
Never.
Nope.
I've noticed that. I mean, it's funny. So many people in these social media rooms will like give you advice on what app you need to take the watermark off of TikTok. I haven't seen a single person with a viral reel that had the watermark removed. I literally think I'm on TikTok half the time I'm on Instagram, because they're all just TikToks with the watermark and everything, and they all go viral. So I feel like we could probably debunk that myth of you got to remove the watermark, because Instagram just wants TikTok videos on their platform. They have no problem with the watermark. That's what I've noticed.
I think the other thing too is just honestly the fact that the audio replaces whatever's in the video. I think that kills any chance of them creating any trends, because you literally just destroy any audio that's already in your in your video. So like on TikTok it makes sense because you're adding a viral song, and then that viral song has a trend attached to it, and you attach that to whatever the stupid thing you do in your video is, and then that goes out. And all you can really do with Reels is just repost that exact video. But if there's any talking whatsoever, you're out of luck.
Very, very good point. I don't know if there's anybody else I want to weigh in on. I mean, it's a pretty simple update. It's nothing too crazy, but I can't. I'm gonna mess up his name. The head of Instagram, Adam Morsey, I think is how you say his last name. There was like an interview that he did, and he was pretty honest. He said, "Yeah, Instagram Reels did not work at the level we thought it would, and it's not doing or performing as well as we anticipated it would," or something along those lines. I'm obviously paraphrasing here, but I thought that was kind of interesting to hear that Instagram itself is like, yeah, it's not popping the way that we could or we thought we would, which I think that's like, not to go on a tangent, but I think they thought they could do the same playbook as they did with Snapchat with stories, because that was really a feature. But like to replicate TikTok, I mean, Schwan, we used to talk about this a lot. Like it's about culture on TikTok. It's community. Like it's this dynamic that it's really, really hard to replicate anywhere else. So I feel like maybe, with the whole Snapchat and rolling in stories, that was just something simple to throw in there. It wasn't anything that stood out too much because it was all privately done. But I feel like TikTok, that's public. That's community. That's like, I don't know, like a fucking random trend emerges, and then, a quarter of the human population all of a sudden just starts doing the trend, which is so random, but it's kind of true, Maybe it's not a quarter, I'm exaggerating, but you get what I'm saying. But I don't know, I think maybe they just thought they could just copy it, and I think they're kind of realizing that it's not really taking off the way they did, because like you said, Dylan, most of it is just TikTok content. So it's not like it's new shit.
Yeah, I just wanted to add something. So regarding this feature, also YouTube is expanding. They have a feature called Clips where you can select basically a portion from a video and link to it. So it seems like every major social network is adding this feature basically.
Yeah, I think maybe too, like all the other platforms seen Instagram replicate, and then they did stories kind of too late to the game, like LinkedIn did eventually, Twitter did eventually, etc. But I think now it's like, yo, if they're doing it, we all have to do it. Like if if Instagram's copying them, Facebook's copying them, we have to now. So I don't know. It's just it's an interesting feature, I think, that they're rolling out. I'd be curious to see if it does anything. I personally don't think it's going to do shit to actually move the needle. I think that Explore page that I showed earlier might actually be something that could actually work out, because like you said, Rocky, like if you're just trying to find a song that's going to work for your business and telling a story, and it's right there and you can see other people's examples, like you're probably going to be like, all right, well, let me just do this natively versus like, let me go do something on TikTok, export it, copy it, replicate it, throw it up on here and hope it does well. So all right, so I'm gonna keep it moving. Again, I'm gonna keep plugging it, but I'll be fast. Live on clubhouse.com. You can just grab this sheet if you want it. This one is simple, but I like this one. It's a pinch to zoom feature on Instagram stories. So if you've ever been on Instagram and you're trying to go on your stories and you're trying to scroll through and find that video or photo from, let's say, a week ago, there's only a 3x3. You have to just scroll and scroll and scroll and find it. Now you're going to be able to do is you're able to pinch and zoom. So if you're on the website and you watch it, you can see what it does. You can literally just pinch it and zoom out to a smaller cluster amount of them. So it's just usability. You can quickly find your stories that you want to upload from your camera roll, which I don't know if we have to talk about it too much, but I thought that was kind of a nice thing that seemed pretty obvious. Like, yeah, why do I have to scroll endlessly? Just let me pinch and zoom. So that's a new feature. I don't know if anybody wants to chime in on that one. I mean, it's kind of just simple. If not, we just keep it moving.
That's pretty dope. That's all I want to add in. That just makes it a little bit more easy.
Yeah, the other night I was looking for something and I was just scrolling, and then my stupid finger slipped and it just like went all the way back to the top again. I was like, oh, damn it, I gotta like scroll again. So simple, nice feature, nothing too crazy. All right, so this one I thought was really interesting. I'm actually excited about this. And again, I wonder if this will just revive lives all of a sudden. But it's PIP mode, which is picture-in-picture mode. So essentially what you're able to do is when you're browsing through, like you're on someone's live, and let's say you want to check their profile, you want to check a message, it completely takes you out of the live all of a sudden. What this is going to do, it's going to minimize it, push it down to the corner, and you'll still be able to browse the rest of the app and still do what you want to do. To me, I think this is something they should have done right away because there's a lot of people lives I want to watch, but there's times where there's downtime and I'm like, I want to get out of this. I want to go check a message or look at their post or the profile. And then I leave, and then sometimes I get stuck on something else, and then I just never go back to their live again. So this seems like honestly pretty obvious, but I'm personally excited about it. I think it's going to be pretty cool as soon as this rolls out, and it seems like kind of a no-brainer. One thing I want to mention too really quickly is there's another screenshot that was shared, and that picture-in-picture was able to be shown in another app. So I don't know if that's 100% going to be the final rollout, but it looks like you're able to be on a live on Instagram and then go anywhere else on your phone and do whatever else you want to do and still have that live piping through video and audio. So that if they do that, that to me is even better because then I could just be on whatever, texting someone or on Clubhouse and be like, yo, I'm watching it right now, your IGTV live. So yeah, I'm wondering what your guys' thoughts on it. I don't go live like kind of ever, but I know there's a lot of people that do go live that are on stage in the audience. So I don't know if you want to weigh in on that part.
Well, I think this is good for Instagram in terms of engagement because, like you could keep somebody engaged on your live. So Instagram would want that. But those moments where you get bored and you want to disengage, now you don't have to. You could just, because I'm that kind of person that as soon as I get bored, I like switch apps or scroll away. But then you lose that engagement metric for Instagram. But this way they could keep that and allow you to explore while you're bored. I think that's very cool.
I think it's going to be crazy for things like contests, like scavenger hunts. Like, hey, go here, now go there, now click on this, like that, go over to this person's thing, drop this comment. Like, you're going to be able to get crazy ass engagement if they're able to use the app while they're watching you live. I think it could be awesome.
Yeah, this is Rocky speaking. I was going to say that it will be amazing for any call to action because they can still watch it live and go out and do whatever you requested them in terms of signing up for anything or distributing any information.
Yeah, that's a really good point about the engagement aspect. Like, I'm not saying Lonnie would ever do this because he's a crazy good creator on Instagram. He doesn't need to. But if I was Lonnie and I'm on Instagram Live and I'm like, yo, everybody right now, go to my profile, smash the like, leave a comment, etc. Like, I feel like that could heavily gamify things for better or worse, But yeah, I'm kind of excited to see like the gamifications that can come from it, and then also just the stickiness. Maybe I would watch more. Like, I'll be honest, a lot of times I don't watch lives because I'm just like, once I get in there, I feel obligated. Schwann's gonna shout me out. Then I'm gonna feel weird if I leave like I'm an asshole. But I want to just check my message. I kill the room because I'm leaving, coming back, leaving, coming back. So, or not the room, sorry, the live. Jaleesa, I seen you unmuted. I'm not sure if you wanted to weigh in on anything.
Oh no, sorry.
Like, no, I'm just here casually unmuted.
Yeah, I didn't even realize. I didn't do that actually, so I don't know what happened.
No clue. What up, Lonnie? I seen that you hopped on stage. Boomer, everybody else. For the new people in here, it's live on clubhouse.com. We're just going through these things. If you want it, DM me. Just say give me that or something, or give me, or well, it doesn't matter. Just say you want it, and I'll send it your way. Lonnie, there was something that was there earlier that we're talking about. I'm just kind of quickly interested and curious. Is there anybody that you know of that have become viral sensations from Reels only? Not from TikTok, but just blew up as like a Instagram Reels creator?
Do you mean like, and also, hey, thanks for having the room and everything. And do you mean like they're not on TikTok, but they're exclusively on Reels?
How would you describe it, Schwann? Because you were saying it earlier too.
What specifically? Sorry.
Schwann's like, what? Like, have we seen anybody emerge from Instagram specifically because of Reels become an influencer or create a trend or set any?
Taryn X Chang is the only person I've seen slaughter it on IG Reels, but then I saw her like video go viral on TikTok after. It was like a one case thing. So like, no, besides her.
Yeah, I've seen some people. I've seen people take off on both, and typically the way it works, the way I've navigated the space is I create for TikTok because there's so many streams of like influence coming in there, and like you can really mix and match whether it's the sounds and the trends or responding to comments. And I make for TikTok every day, and then I repost it to Reels, and I've seen obviously the Reels blow up. But I haven't seen anybody do it independent of TikTok. I don't think Reels has that kind of discoverability yet. Like Schwan said, there was that one person, but I mean, I would recommend everybody work on TikTok and just repost it to Reels.
I have a friend. She comes in our room. Her name is Megan. She has a brand under Moxie. She actually just went viral on Reels. Her Reels is up to 1 million views right now, and she's pretty much brand new on Instagram. So
Yeah, some of my friends from TikTok are just whatever just now, like at Jennings Brower and the Snickle. They're at first they played around with Reels. They didn't get that much reach, but now it's almost like it's a resurgence or something because they're growing by like 2,000, 4,000, like 5,000, and even 10,000 followers over the past 2 weeks from just reposting their TikToks onto Reels now. So I don't know. It wasn't like that like a month ago. Their growth had kind of stagnated since they launched it, but it looks like they're trying to re-expand it or give it to a broader audience now.
Here's a question I have actually. What's the largest video view you've seen on Reel before? Like I've only seen like tens of millions. I've never seen like 80 million or 100 million or billion like how it is on TikTok. What's like the biggest number you guys seen?
1 million.
Yeah, I've seen my friend. He's got a view with like five. I think one of mine's hit like 5 million or 10 million, but never like past like a 10 or never past like a 10 or 12. I'm sure there are people who do it because I've seen videos with 1 million likes, and I think that would equal if it's like a 1 to 10 ratio or something like that. Somebody do the math. I'm not going to even pretend to be a mathematician here, but if you got 1 million likes, multiply that by 10. So
Yeah, I kind of want to do investigating after this. Maybe I'll post a story and be like, this is the largest video I've been able to see or find, rather. I mean, it technically wouldn't be fair because if you go look at videos from 2018 on TikTok, like it's just been accumulating over time. But even like maybe someone like Bella Porsche, for example, when she does one on TikTok, how much people she can get in, and then finding someone who's an Instagram influencer of the same numbers and like reach, and seeing how their Reels does to kind of like compare somehow. I mean, it's not a complete comparison, but
yeah.
Go ahead, Schwan.
Yeah, like the highest is Kourtney Kardashian. I think that I've seen, and hers are like tens of millions, never higher.
That's interesting.
The discoverability is so different though. Like with Reels, with TikTok, you're literally playing around with like three different factors on every video. Like, is the sound that's being used like a viral sound that has 20,000 people like videos already made, which means it's like millions of people scrolling through just looking at how people are using that one sound, and then if it's a trend, and then you take in that original creator's initial audience as well. So there's just like so many more factors pouring in to like watching. And also, not everybody on Instagram really looks at Reels even yet, but on TikTok, that's literally all there is to see is TikTok videos. So I don't know, I just feel like the reach is just inherently less on, like, it's nothing to be laughed at on Instagram with the Reels, but compared to TikTok, I don't know, I just feel like it's almost an unfair comparison right now at this point.
Yeah, I the only time I hit the Reels tab is by accident when my thumb slips, and then I'm like, oh, I'm in the Reels section. Other than that, it's either in my feed or in the Explore or on someone's stories. Like, I had to be really, really prompted to my face to be like, click this thing. And even then, half the time I see it's a Reels icon, I'm like, fuck it. I'll see it on their TikTok later. Real quick, I wanted to ask Boomer, not to put you on the spotlight, Boomer, but Boomer's crazy good with copy. He's been like my silent hero behind the scenes where I'm like, yo, Boomer, can you help me restructure this, please? Yeah, he just helped me recently on a very random special project, like a personal one that I was like, it worked really well, by the way, Boomer. But kind of curious, I just want to back up really, really quickly. There was a new button that they changed from shop to sell. From a copywriter's perspective, is there something there that you think obviously like sell is a little bit more pushy to be like, yo, you can sell stuff or buy stuff, but in your perspective, like the change from shop to sell, like what's your thoughts on that?
Interesting. I'm seeing this for the first time, so I'm kind of letting it sink in. Shop versus sell. Interesting. I mean, I mean, sell obviously is more of a merchant, from the merchant perspective versus like shop versus, that would be a customer facing button. So that's interesting that it's sell. Yeah, I don't know. I got to sit with this one. This is all new to me. Yeah.
That's actually really, you didn't say it, but that's a really good point. Maybe what I was saying earlier is that a lot of ads people and people that have Shopify stores, they can't, they're really scared right now with the whole like iOS change and the ads and stuff like that. Where maybe they are trying to get someone like maybe Jaleesa, where it's like, hey, instead of your Shopify, just throw it up on Instagram. Maybe they are trying to go for the merchants to build out the culture of the stores and make it a norm, and then maybe they might pivot back to be like buy or something like that. But I don't know. Maybe you could sit with it for a moment and contemplate it. Thought I would throw that out there to you though. All right, I'm gonna keep it moving. This one's pretty simple. Real quick, I'm gonna keep plugging it. Sorry, guys. Liveonclubhouse.com. You can just check what I'm doing and see it live if you want to see visuals to this, because there's little screenshots and stuff. So there's this new feature called Watch Together. Two new things that you could do. One, you're able to call someone or a group of selected friends and watch something together via Instagram Messenger. You could do this right now on Facebook Messenger. You could watch something like a YouTube video and stuff like that. It's just pretty much the same thing coming out on like Instagram Messenger. I'm still kind of curious. Like I know like they obviously have so much data and I'll never be able to get access to it, but I'm always curious, like, why do y'all wait so long to unlock it on Instagram? like now I feel like that feature's kind of gone. COVID's gone. I would have used this on Instagram for sure, but I don't know. But yeah, you're able to do that. You're able to call and watch together. And then you're able to do this new feature called Create a Group. I don't know what the difference is, to be honest. It looks like the exact same thing as creating a group that you could do right now, but apparently there's some inherent difference between creating a group chat and doing this whole group thing. I have no clue what it is, but apparently you're able to do that. So, yeah, the watch together could be interesting. I don't know what the ramifications are going to be or how you could do it. I don't know how many people are allowed to be in that. I could see that being kind of like some cool premiere thing if you're like some influencer like Nauk Boys and like, yo, you could come watch the premiere with us live on our Instagram story or Instagram watch together chat. That could be kind of cool, you know, kind of interesting or different. But I don't know how much the use case would really be, to be honest. But yeah, watch together. I guess that's a new thing they're rolling out to Messenger. So again, don't know if anybody wants to weigh in. If not, we could just skip to the next one.
Hey, go ahead.
I would say I tried this on Facebook. For one, the audio quality sucks. Like you can watch the video together, but you can't hear the other person. Like even if you want to discuss something while you're watching whatever you're watching, it drowns out your voice. So you can't even, have a conversation while you're watching whatever it is you're watching. So if they could fix that, that would be cool. But I'm like you, I don't think not many people would use it.
Is this does anyone know if this is only allowing a user in Instagram to watch content from Instagram, or that is shared like in line in a message, or can you watch like a YouTube video or like off Instagram content while you're in Messenger? Do you know?
So on Facebook Messenger, I believe I honestly haven't used it since like the beginning of the pandemic when it came out. I believe you were able to watch other things outside of it, but in the content right here on the screenshot, it specifically says select friends and watch together or check it out on Facebook Watch. So I don't know if they're gonna pull from Facebook Watch and if that's the only thing. I would imagine if it was anything, they'd probably put that in the actual copy, but it literally just says watch together or check it out on Facebook Watch. So I'm assuming it's just gonna be everything that's on Facebook Watch and maybe some Instagram stuff, which would be kind of weird because, I mean, I don't think a large amount of the user base on Instagram, especially a younger demographic, is using Facebook Watch. So maybe their content's not even over there. Like Nauk Boys is not on Facebook Watch, so it's like it's on Instagram, but it's not on Facebook.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, actually, now this reminds me. Oh, go ahead. This is very strategic to drive more usage of Facebook video stuff, because now that I think about it, it would be kind of weird if they allow you to play YouTube stuff in there because it's self-defeating. I think their strategy is they want to drive more monetization of video content to compete with YouTube. So this sounds more like a strategy to get more discovery and watch time up, and of course show ads eventually and monetize it.
It's a really good point. It reminds me of like when Facebook Watch first came out and they kind of like low-key lied about their numbers and like nobody seemed to care. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but when Facebook first came out with like the watch thing, they just said they had way more views than what they had. It was kind of comical, but that's a really good point. Yeah, just to kind of drive traffic to it. Why not?
I do remember that because they were counting like a 5-second view as an entire watch, and YouTube was counting. You had to watch a lot longer of the video to consider it a watch, and that was a big controversy, and they ended up having to change that because advertisers were getting super super pissed off about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I'm not sure if there's anybody else. If not, I'll keep it moving. There's 16, so we still got like 8 more to go. All right, cool. So this one's interesting. So it's a two-parter. There's this thing called the Inspiration Hub. So they're working on this new section that when you go to create promotional post, you'll be able to see quote unquote inspirations in terms of being able to create new content that's going to actually convert and get more reach. When you basically, it's just here's examples of how you should boost your posts and what these people's posts look like that are related to you. So if Jaleesa is going to run, you know, a boosted post for her makeup content, it'll be like, hey, here's what Maybelline's doing. Here's what someone, maybe like another makeup artist is doing, just to give you some inspiration. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I don't know how they're going to gather that data or like how they're going to say this is a good one. I don't know if it's based off of like metrics or creation. I have no clue how they're going to evaluate like this is a good thing to do. One thing that was kind of interesting though, it said in the Inspiration Hub, it said what similar accounts to yours are creating. Here are some posts this week that drove a lot of engagement. That's kind of interesting. I don't know if there's going to be a little cheat code way where you could be like, well, I don't want to run an ad, but I definitely want to see what other people in my space are doing and which ones had the most amount of engagement, and maybe I could just replicate and emulate it. So instead of you doing your own, you know, content research, you could just be like, click here. Oh shit, there's these 12 pieces of content. Cool, let me go make it, and then I'll go run an ad with it. So that's the first part of it. The second part is they actually changed it to similar businesses. So Inspiration Hub now has been changed to similar businesses. A lot of the content out there that's talking about it, though, they're using these two interchangeably, and people are getting confused as the difference. There's not a difference. They just literally change it to get ideas from similar businesses. Maybe, you know, from like more of a copywriting or call to action perspective, that makes a little bit more sense than Inspiration Hub. I wouldn't know what that means, but if you can see the screenshot on the website, it says get ideas from similar businesses. That's like, it's pretty straightforward. It's like, okay, let me click this and, you know, see what's up. So yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. I'd be very curious of how that's going to play a role in terms of people feeling more comfortable boosting posts or boosting content or getting people more, I don't know, used to the idea of running paid paid ad spend towards their content. Because I know a lot of people that do it, they're afraid of like, I don't want to waste money. I don't know if it's going to work, this and that. Maybe this will make them feel a little bit less, you know, put their minds at ease, I guess you could say. But yeah, I don't know if anybody wants to weigh in on the Inspiration Hub / similar businesses.
Yeah, that sounds a lot. I mean, obviously, but as a creator, you're oftentimes given those tabs already called like what your audience is watching and things like that. So I think it's pretty smart that they're rolling that out to the people who, you know, directly make a lot of the money. You know, say, hey, this is what's working. Do this, or here's what people are enjoying right now. It's pretty brilliant, and it's extremely helpful as a creator, especially when you can see what your competition or your colleagues are working on and what's winning for them. They make it very simple to know what to play into next, and I think it's going to be extraordinarily helpful. Like, I want to see it because YouTube has one, everybody else has one, but I haven't really seen that feature on Instagram. So hopefully they have one without the ads. You know.
Yeah, you know, one thing that I would say, and I know Henry popped up on stage right now. Maybe he would want to hop in on this. By the way, Henry, if you go to liveonclubhouse.com, you'll see what exactly we're talking about. But one thing that I found that was kind of interesting is that there's people that spend money to boost posts. One, they have no clue what they're doing, so they already are just wasting their money because they have no idea what they're doing. But I feel like when they do that, they feel really negative and hesitant of like, I don't want to do that again. I'm just wasting money now. They want me just to spend money and I don't get any results. So maybe this might make them feel a little bit more at ease and hopefully kind of like educate them a little bit, where if it's like, hey, Robert, like this is the type of content you got to create. If you do this, this is content that worked well. Maybe they would get one, better results, and two, there might be kind of a journey along with it. Like, oh, let me get better at my editing. Let me do this and that. And maybe, you know, instead of spending $5, they'll spend $50 all of a sudden. So I can see that maybe as like a hand-holding kind of thing, or I don't know, might be worth, you know, kind of thinking about that a little bit.
That's exactly what this is about. I mean, I was running a small little shop where I was selling posters, and when I went to create ads the first time, I really had no idea what was good, what was not. Like, what should my ad look like? What should my boosted post look like? You know, which ones are more likely to convert? So what Facebook gets you to do is you experiment. You create a bunch of different concepts and see which one is getting higher conversion rates. And then you keep doubling down on content like that. but it's very difficult. And I think this is good because it'll give you ideas of what you could do and not start from scratch, you know, because even the research process is difficult. Like, what do? You go to Google, you type Instagram ad inspiration. What I would do is I'd go to Instagram, and whenever I'd see an ad that I liked, I'd save it so I could have a little gallery of ads inspiration. But this is really good, and I think it's probably the beginning of more inline advertising features in Instagram. Instead of having to go to Facebook Studio or whatever it's called to do your ads, you could do it inline more. And I could see them building out a whole suite of more features in Instagram to do research, to get insights. Imagine like get ideas similar for my business, but what if you could say, get ideas similar for my business that convert with this demo or this audience, or maybe I want to expand into a new market. So get ideas for fill in the blank. Like I want to sell car accessories. What do ads like that look like? So I hope they do more of this for, especially for small creators that don't have a lot of time and money to waste on experimentation.
I'm gonna sound super pessimistic and like just kind of an asshole here. I wonder, I'm not accusing him of doing this, but I feel like a lot of people with this whole iOS change that were like real advertisers, everyone that I talked to, they're like, I got to diversify right now. I got to try other platforms. I need to put some money towards something else just to test. I wonder if this is kind of a sneaky way to also be like, how do we offset that balance sheet where we were getting this much dollars before and now it's kind of like, well, we can get it for the people who don't really know what they're doing. We can give them a little bit of help and guidance and they'll actually get some results to offset maybe that 30 million that would have been pumped into Facebook/Instagram ads from actual people that just run ads for a living. I'm not saying that's technically obviously like the truth, but I could see that maybe being one of the thought processes of just like, well, be able to make that up somehow. And if it's someone like Lonnie who's never ran ads, but we can give him a pretty good chance and he blows up, like I'm pretty sure Lonnie's not gonna be mad at spending $1,000 to make 20,000 back in the next month or whatever. So again, I know that's like a super pessimistic kind of approach or view process on it, but I don't know. Thought I would just kind of mention that because I could see that maybe being something. All right. So if there's nobody else for the similar businesses thing, I'll just keep it moving. If not, feel free to unmute and just chime in. If not, we'll keep it going. All right, not a single person. All right, cool. So this one's really quickly. I mean, I think Rocky posted this. They added preferred pronouns to your profile. So if you want to, you can go ahead and put your preferred pronouns in there. You don't have to worry about it maybe taking up space in your bio or getting swallowed up in your bio because it's the bottom. So it's just a little simple addition. It's nothing too crazy. I mean, for people who obviously wanted this, obviously it's a big deal. But in terms of just like, I don't know if it's going to change the scope of the app too much because I think people that have the preferred pronouns, they just kind of have in their bio. But it's kind of cool now. You can just have it in your specific place and you don't have to worry about it too much. I do believe there's only 4 items that you could choose from at the moment. Is that right, Rocky?
Yeah, it's he, him, she, and her.
Yeah, so I'll be kind of curious to see if that expands. I don't know at what point that might stop or it doesn't stop or you're able to customize it and stuff like that. I don't see them like adding the ability to customize it because then you could just abuse that field for anything like at your username or click here or something like that for people who would like, use that space for a different reason. But I thought it was pretty cool. It's only available for a few countries, supposed to be rolling out pretty soon globally. So yeah, nothing too crazy to talk about. But if anybody else wants to weigh in, maybe their thoughts on it. If not, we just kind of keep it moving.
I mean, to be a little skeptical here, this is just another way for Instagram to get more demo data from people. Especially if you self describe it or something like this, and they could maybe use this for targeting in the future. Because to your point, Michael, now that iOS is rolling out these changes to the Facebook Pixel, um, Facebook is going to want to get more first party like audience data. So yes, this is good, like politically, socially. How nice of Instagram to be thinking of us to let us identify our pronouns, but also, they want the data. So that's one thing to think about here.
This is Rochelle. They do have more pronouns. Like they have they, them, thor, thou. Like they have a lot of different pronouns. Like if you press T, it'll drop down like a whole bunch of non-binary pronouns. And that list, and so there's a lot more than just like 4 of them. But there's a whole bunch. There's a bunch of non-binary ones as well.
That's super interesting. Yeah, because when I was reading through the blog on Instagram, they said there was only 4 available. Maybe they wrote out more. Maybe it's just like you said, like you got to type in stuff and it's kind of like hidden or something. But yeah, I'd be really curious to see what the list is. In terms of what I don't want to offend anybody, so just I'm not saying this in any offensive way, but I'm wondering where they would stop at and if that would be something that's like good or bad, you know what I mean? Like, hey, why don't you have these pronouns is what I identify as, or if it's popular. So I'm wondering if there's going to be a limit or a customization or whatever. I mean, I don't know at all, but I don't know. I'm just kind of curious of what they do have and where that will stop at.
Yeah, I just tried it, and she's right. They must have just updated it, but you put a P in there and it's purse, Pers. I don't know if that means person, but there's a lot of different options there. That's interesting.
Yeah,
I could identify as a purse. That's interesting.
Yeah, I'd be kind of curious to see what the entire list is. I'm sure someone has it somewhere. You just, I don't know, tap their API and see what can be pulled out. I'll hit up a friend and be like, yo, extract real quick. Let's see what there is.
I think you can actually check it out on Instagram's page. It's either on Instagram's homepage they had it listed, or either it was 1:37 p.m. I saw either on Instagram or 1:37 p.m. on Instagram. They had the whole list, and they had there was about 27 different options, and I thought it was pretty inclusive, so it's cool.
Yeah, that would just be my fear, is that maybe it wouldn't be inclusive to the fullest extent where, like, you know, it's like, hey, what the fuck? Like, I'm glad you're exclusive for that, but, like, what about me? So, yeah, I'm trying to look right now as we speak online for the list of them.
This is Rochelle. I DM'd you, Michael. I DM'd you the list of the pronouns that you can add. I took screenshot.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm, like, looking right now.
Yo, Michael.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's pronouns in other language.
Oh, this is just running at the bottom. I was wondering, is there an article that covers like the 16 features that leaked? I was just wondering what you were referencing. If there was a way to check this out.
Yeah, good question.
I didn't have to, like, make you reset.
yeah, no worries. Yeah, just go on liveonclubhouse.com. You can see what this whole thing of what I'm going through. But if you want what I have, you could just go ahead and DM me on Instagram. This is me just compiling it from a shit ton of different sources and just putting it into like a little spreadsheet / little PDF guide or whatever. So if you want it, you could just literally DM me right now and I'll just send you the link. It's just a Google Drive and you can kind of download it and check it out. And then the sources for it are in there too, so you can go check it out and see it for yourself. And the sources are super reputable. Like every single time they come up with something, it actually does emerge later on. So they're like pretty trusted. But some of them like this is from Instagram directly, so it's like, you know, if it's from Instagram, it's pretty direct. But yeah, thanks for asking. Real quick, Rachel, I'm looking through them. Yeah, there's a lot. Like, I don't know. It's interesting because I'm looking at their blog and their blog says 4. So I don't know what the hell they.
A lot of them are pronouns in different languages, and I think that's what it is as well.
That's an interesting point. Okay. All right. So, go ahead.
For 4, that means that you can add 4 of them to your profile. So you can have 4 pronouns on your bio in your profile that you can add. But you can't add like more than 4, even though they have option for more than, like they have more than 4 options, but you can only add 4 options to your bio.
Thank you for clarifying. Maybe I probably totally misread that 100%. So yeah, thank you for clarifying that. So you can have, I guess, up to 4. All right, interesting. I would be curious too. I'm not going to do this because I don't want to be like disrespectful, but I would be curious to see if I do change my pronouns to something that I don't identify as, if all of a sudden ads would be changed all of a sudden, where I would start seeing content that's, like you said, Chris, possibly targeting off of that section. I'd be kind of curious of that, but I mean, I don't know if they have that built in yet. Probably not, but curious of like how that would play a role in the algorithm or anything like that. All right, I'm gonna keep it moving. 12, the reshare sticker. This one I'm actually pretty excited about. I don't know why the fuck they haven't rolled this out since stories came out. So Instagram is working on a new reshare sticker. This reshare sticker will allow you to browse your favorite personal and saved posts, so you can quickly choose the ones you want to reshare to your story. So right now, Rocky can go to her profile and she can share her post to her story, but I can't go to Rocky's profile and do that, or like any saved ones. You can't natively do it. You have to like screenshot it and tag it and do that whole thing. So But apparently, what this is going to do, it's going to allow you to just take any content on Instagram for the most part and then be able to reshare it onto your story and then direct link to it directly. So I thought that was pretty cool. I'm actually kind of excited for that in terms of like creativity that you can kind of do or strategy. I'm sure Schwann's probably like, ooh, let me see what I could do with this right here. But yeah, I feel like that's a feature that probably should have came out, but yeah, like a long time ago. But apparently it's being tested right now. So yeah, reshare sticker. I don't know if anybody had any thoughts on that one, but I'm kind of weirdly excited for that one. All right, dead ass silence. Guess we ain't that excited for a reshare sticker. All right, I'm gonna keep it going to the next one. I'm like, am I the only one who thought it was cool? All right, fuck. I just want to look.
Michael,
Yeah.
No, it's
Michael, it's Donna. You're talking about resharing feed posts? I'm so confused because we can all do that now, can't we?
Resharing your own content, correct?
Yeah, but sharing anybody else's.
But can't I go into your page right now and share any piece of your feed content onto my
Actually,
stories?
yo, Michael, I'm actually looking at this right now on like the website little description that you have. I kind of like the fact that you can reshare from your saved. That I fuck with. I think that's going to be a useful little nuance to that feature. Because I think a lot of the other like reshares not super new, but being able to like, for example, if you're a page that puts out a lot of information and you save certain posts that are get into the like you wrote really nice long posts and somebody's asking you some questions and you could just reshare that post from the list that you have saved. So that could be useful.
Yeah, if you're looking on the website that I'm on right now, there's this little tab that pops up when you click the sticker thing, and it'll show you things that you've liked, things that I believe are in your post, and then things that you saved. So that's kind of interesting. And then the next one, apparently, if you are going to reshare someone's stuff, the other person will be notified of it too. And then to your point, Donna, yeah, I think some profiles have it and some people don't. I know that some people in Canada don't have the option to do that whole thing where you can share someone's post to your story, and some people can. I don't know if they're just still split testing it. And I don't know what technically the difference is. Maybe the difference for them they thought is just the quick access, like you were just saying right now. It would just be easier just to like boom, save tab or liked or whatever. Because I save a lot of stuff on Instagram, but going through it, I don't know if I would like remember to reshare it or whatever. So this is kind of like a nice little addition to, I guess.
Yeah, because you just click share to story, right? Currently.
Yeah, like if you go to someone's post, but I tried it right now on Jaleesa's and it let me. And then,
Is this to reshare on your feed?
no, apparently this is just literally for stories.
I
So
think
what
it's
this
more
Yeah, I'm confused too.
if
Yeah,
you
yeah.
read the pitch, I think it's more so to notify the other person that you shared their stuff. Whereas if you do it now, you really don't know unless you click into view story reshares.
That is true. You have to at the person for them to get notified that you like shared their stuff.
So there's this other dimension, and tell me if anyone disagrees with this, but it sounds like what this is also adding is that when you go to make a post to your stories, so you're in the UI for creating a post. If you click reshare, it'll open a new UI that'll show you an option to search your saved stuff or search what else can you search? So your saved and your personal stuff on your own phone. And I don't think as of today you could go to your saved posts from Stories UI and share from there. So I think that's the new thing that's adding. Actually, yeah, you could see right now the little saved. Oh, that's perfect. If you click the saved bookmark, which Michael is showing on the feed, that would show you your saved post from within the Stories UI, which I don't think you could do that today. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
It
you
will
can't.
improve the workflow. It will definitely improve the workflow if you're sharing like, a couple posts at the same time, or if you just want to go back and like share like 4 posts in a row. Because right now you have to go to the post, then go back, do the story, then go all the way back to the list, and then go to the next post that you want to share, and then go all the way back, and then go to the next post.
Exactly. And what's also really cool is that it has the little heart icon. So that I love that because now you could also view from one page all the posts you've liked and then reshare from there instead of having to do what Remy said is you have to get out of the feed, get out of the stories UI and then go to Elizabeth Sky's page, find her latest post, and then share it. Like I could just do it all from the stories. I actually think this is one of the coolest features we've looked at so far today.
You know, I think, and Haley, I know you hopped on stage, but I'm sure you're doing like 1,000 things at the same time. But I feel like from the social media manager's perspective, I know Haley has a full team, and I'm assuming if you're like, hey, stop doing this or stop doing that or look at this post, it'd probably be nice to just be like, okay, everything that I liked recently or saved, that's all the stuff we need to repost and promote and share, like just instantly and seamlessly versus being like, here's a link, go there, go that. I feel like that might just be a little bit simpler and easier to even with your social media managers to help maybe, create stories or just manage it.
I think Instagram is genius because really what all of this boils down to is them making it more user friendly and allowing people to stay on the platform longer. So that's what all these updates are saying to me.
Yeah, totally. By the way, there's a bunch of people on stage that came up. By all means, please don't feel shy. Chime in at any point in time. Give your thoughts on anything. Anybody who's here, I'm not going to keep doing it. Just check my bio, live on clubhouse.com. DM me if you want this stuff. I'll send it over to you. All right, so I'm going to keep it moving. This one was pretty simple. Schedule your live. So apparently they're doing stuff now where you're going to be able to schedule your live in the future. There'll be a configuration page where you have to fill out the details and all that good stuff, like the title of the live and the start time, the date, and everything like that. And you can apparently schedule it out 90 days ahead of time. And I guess, I got a little typo right there. Gotta edit that out real quick. Apparently, you're also going to get the ability to have like a shared post option. So when you schedule it, apparently there's going to be this option to make a post that links to the live itself or something along those lines. So I thought that was interesting. I personally never go live on Instagram, but I know there's a lot of people. I wish Nikki was here, Nikki Saunders. She goes live, I think 6 times a week or 5 times a week for like the last 2 years, she said, something crazy like that. But I can see for her that could be pretty cool and pretty interesting. If you go right here, you'll see it. You have the title of it, the start time, the date, and all that stuff, and you hit schedule live video. And then you will have this where it just says it's been scheduled, and then you can hit share as a post or share later. So thought that was pretty cool. It seems like they're obviously maybe making a push more towards a live thing. Maybe it's in preparation for the audio rooms or, pushing like I guess a clubhouse style room type of thing. But yeah, apparently you're gonna be able to schedule your live. So I don't know if anybody who goes live wants to weigh on it. If not, anybody else, feel free to.
It definitely
I had a
seems
quick
like
question that was like off topic. It wasn't about the live, but it was back to what y'all were talking about, like the shared and the saved. Is it ever going to show us who is sharing our post and who is saving our post? Because I can't see that, and that's something that I would really like to know. Like I would really like to know who it is that's resonating with my post so well that they're saving it. And who are sharing it as well, because the only time I can see when somebody shares is if they tag me in the share on their stories, or on their feed. So I was just wondering that.
Well, the saving post can get dicey because then you have to, like, if it just always let the person know that you're saving, that's a little dicey on the saver's side, right? There's a
Reshare.
reason why Twitter has
Talking
on
about
their
reshare.
list, they have closed and open lists. Like you can close your list so the people that are you're adding to that list don't get notified.
Yeah, but she's talking about reshare, not saved. Because saved is for privacy reasons. They're never going to show saved because
Yeah, I
by
agree with that, but
definition.
she also mentioned the save, that was just the part that I was mentioning.
Yeah, I don't think they'll ever reveal that part of it, to be honest. Maybe if they're like a mutual friend or in your network or something like that. But I think if you're a public account and you have like 30,000 saves, I think one, that would just be a headache to have to scroll through and like data wise and displaying that amount of like, code. I feel like that would kind of get a little wonky. And then probably just for like, the whole security purposes of just like, I don't really want you to share like that I'm the person who saved that post for whatever reason. So yeah, I definitely don't see that happening anytime soon. But yeah, so to the schedule live though, I don't know if anybody had any thoughts on that. I thought it was a cool move. Makes sense. Maybe people can plan shit out ahead of time natively within the app versus being like, hey, I'm gonna go live, and then you just gotta hope that the person can set it all up and do everything and all that good stuff. So I don't know. Thought it was pretty good. I'm not gonna probably use it. But
Michael, I agree with you, but I think it also matters. Like, is there a possibility to like repost that post? Can you make a post off of the live again? Does it get like kind of floated to the top of your profile if you schedule a live? I think where they put it slash your ability to repost it is going to be more key than just the ability to schedule it. Because if it scheduling it, but you don't have a real easy way to continue to notify people multiple times in advance, then it's not going to serve that much of a purpose.
I could see some really cool uses with things like you could even email your list, tell them that you're going to go live. Like I'm thinking about using it for letting people know ahead of time that I'm going to be walking through my automations. So like if I've got Mobile Monkey working in the background in DMs and I'm actually live on Instagram, if they're able to then interact while I'm live and do other shit on their phone and actually test out all these different automations that are serving them, helping them, answering questions, all that shit in the background. I think that'd be an awesome way to test automations and make sure shit's set up right with like a live audience that's actually doing it and let them know ahead of time, hey, we're going to be doing a bunch of testing. Everybody show up on my live. Here's when it is. We're going to do this and that. I mean, I think it's just going to be killer for that stuff.
Does it mention at all if it actually allows your followers to RSVP for a notification for when it goes live?
No,
Or
not
for
yet.
updates?
Not that I've seen. Nothing that I've been able to check out or find or anything like that. It just seems like pretty rudimentary. I'm sure they'll probably schedule that out and build it out, but it seems like, I don't know. If I have one thing about Instagram, they move a little bit slow, like in terms of adding a bunch of new features on top of a feature. But yeah, that would be pretty cool though if you could do that.
There is a little workaround, which is you could share it as a post, right? It says you could like create an event, schedule it, share it as a post in your feed. So the workaround would be your audience could then save your post, like in their saved, or share it, DM the post to your own DMs, so you have it as a reminder. But this does also sound like it's laying the groundwork for more calendar features in the future, where you could RSVP, you could make it more of a thing to go to events. And like the earlier feature, which was muting your video, like turning your video off, is definitely setting the stage for audio rooms and like a clubhouse type experience. So I think this is the beginning of calendar stuff that you could RSVP to and like get even more engagement time on Instagram.
This is Milan speaking. I also think it's a building block because there's also that feature now of the timestamp clock. I don't know why I can't speak, but the countdown clock that you can RSVP to. So it'd be really cool if they could link it some kind of way to that timer clock that goes on your story. That also lets people know like where you can RSVP because that's already built to go into the scheduling thing. But this is Milan. I'm done speaking.
Hey, this is Heather Havenwood. Hey, Michael, I have a question for everyone on the panel, but as well as Michael specifically. What is y'all's take on kind of what's going on with Mobile Monkey? I've heard two sides of it, that it is actually partnered with Instagram. I've also heard that it's not, and it could get things shut down. Can someone speak to that?
Yeah, I'm sorry, this is Rocky speaking. I just got approved for it, and it is going through Instagram and Facebook's platform. So it is an Instagram integrated platform.
Yeah, I mean, I could actually bring in people that are using it maybe towards the end of the room, and then maybe we can chat more about that feature. But I'll just say there was somebody who had a DM software that's exactly this stuff, and Instagram took them down, and Facebook took them down, even though they were like working with them and was compliant and everything like that. So I'm not saying that would happen with Mobile Monkey, or ManyChat is another one. I like it, but I feel like a lot of these people that are setting up the bots, they're just doing it in such a shitty way that it just completely turns me off. I'll be honest. When it's like, yo, what up, Rocky? Hi, I'm Rocky's bot. Well, how can I help you with? And it's like 5 options. To me, I don't know. I just feel kind of weirded out. I feel like the DMs on Instagram is very, very like personable, where it's like that intimacy to it.
Totally.
So I don't technically know how good it's gonna work. I mean, obviously, if you can be quick and you can give answers, that'll be helpful. And obviously, if you set up your what's the word I'm looking for? If you set up your responses and stuff, that might be a kind of bit helpful. But yeah, that's just kind of my thoughts. But I can ping in the people from all of the platforms actually if you want towards the end and see if they come in. I'll DM them on the side and see what their input is.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I've heard a lot about you and what you're doing, Michael. So I just figured you would be the one to know. I know it wasn't the topic tonight, but I've been wanting to ask you that for a while. So I just thought I could take the moment to ask that. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries.
If you want,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if you want, I just asked Larry if he'd be down to hop into Clubhouse. So
Party on.
that might be cool. Let me ask him real quick and just see if he's gonna be able to pop in at any time.
Yeah. Hey Heather, it's Shane. I just pinged Dennis, and he's
Hey.
actually one of the CEOs of Mobile Monkey. So hopefully he jumps in, but he's super busy. So if he doesn't, yeah, next time.
No worries, guys. I know it's not the topic, so I appreciate it. Michael, nice to meet you. Rocky, thanks for bringing me up. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I'm
maybe
out.
maybe what I could do is create a room and get all of them in here, like from all the chat platform. I don't know if they would be super stoked to be talking with their competitors, obviously, but it might lead to an interesting dialogue of like, what's different from this to that to this, and what's your results been like and stuff like that. So, yeah. But anyways, Instagram Live. If there's nothing else we got, I'll just keep it moving. We only got 3 more left, and I think the next 3 are pretty quick. So, anybody want to talk about the live, or now you're good? All right, we're good. So this one was interesting. Busy reminder. So more or less, if you're chatting in the DMs, you can, I guess, have this option where if you're, say, typing to Schwan and Schwan just kind of like, dips out all of a sudden, it'll tell them that, the name, which would be Schwan, is currently receiving a large number of messages and maybe slower than usual to respond. Just kind of, I guess, a nice little prompt of like, you're not being ignored. They're just a little bit busy right now. I don't really technically know like how game changing this is, to be honest, but it is just maybe something to kind of use as a feature, and maybe, I don't know, make people feel a little bit nicer to be like, all right, I'm not just being ghosted all of a sudden, like I'm actually, I don't know, like they're just busy, I guess, and slow to respond. So I don't know if anybody had any thoughts on that. I don't think it's like a crazy update, but it might make people feel a little bit better.
Hey Michael, Larry Kim just popped in the room. If you see him down there,
Hey, there's Larry.
maybe invite the man up.
Hey, Michael, how's it going?
Pretty good. We had a question earlier about ManyChat, but I want to just run through these last 2, and then we can go into just overall thoughts in general, and then we can maybe bring back up the idea of like the automation and seeing how that works and stuff. But yeah, busy reminder. I don't know if anybody had any thoughts on this. I don't think it's incredibly game changing, but might make people feel a little bit better. All right, nope. All right, cool. Next one is draft messages. This one I'm excited about. I'm gonna be honest. I'm very excited about it. You ever been writing a message and then something happens and you come back and your message is gone? Apparently, you're gonna be able to have the option to have draft messages now, so you can come back to them and edit them again. So I thought that was kind of cool. I don't know about y'all, but I was a little bit excited about that because there's been a ton of times where I've just been a little bit frustrated and been like, oh, I just wrote this reply, it's got a response, and now it's just gone. So yeah, I thought that was kind of a cool update. I don't know if anybody had any thoughts on the dynamic of like a draft message.
I love that one personally because there's so many times I'm writing something and I get a phone call, or there's just 1,000 things happening. So love that one thing.
Yep, me too. Usually I don't go back to write the whole thing over again, so I'm happy about that one too.
Yeah, all right. Well, that's literally all of them. That's all the ones I got for you today. Okay, so I made this PowerPoint or this slideshow or whatever like 2-3 weeks ago. So I have another one, which I'll maybe do later on this week or next week or something like that with all new ones. But for this purpose, these are the 15 that I was able to find, and they're being beta tested and stuff like that. So I don't know if we want to just have a general conversation. We can kind of go into that DM software if we want to talk about that a little bit more. But personally, I was the most excited about. I'm trying to think of it actually. The thing I think I felt like the most excited about was probably the picture-in-picture for Instagram Live. I feel like I would definitely consume more Instagram Lives. And then you know what? Another thing too would be the Reels trending tab. We're able to see like what's trending right now on Reels content-wise. Like I actually think that would be kind of cool because both of those would get me to actually go on the platform and use that. Instead, right now I'm not doing shit. Like I just like I avoid it. So yeah, I don't know if anybody had any thoughts on what your favorites were, things you're looking forward to, and stuff like that.
They should have done picture-in-picture in the beginning of quarantine when every single person on your Instagram was going live at the same time.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm excited. I mean, I know somebody was like, why would you not want to show your face? But I'm super excited for the only audio feature on live because I'm not always looking my best on my live videos. And then like for those that are scared, it's like absolutely perfect because now they can finally do it. I don't know how much of an impression they'll make without showing their face, but it's definitely an option for them to get started.
Rocky, after you just said that, I noticed Elisa Jacobs joined the room, and I was like, you know what? I get it. Like some people have dope voices. You same exact thing that you said right now. I'm just like a dumb dude that's like I can look as best as I can possibly look in like 20 minutes. Like it's not a get ready thing, but I think that makes
No,
a
it
lot of
takes us like
sense.
2 hours.
Right, yeah.
Not only that, for podcasters, like, wouldn't that be like kind of like a? I mean, I don't know. I'm not a huge podcaster, but I think of that aspect as well.
I do agree with Michael though. I think those two, the picture in picture, that's exciting. I think that's gonna gamify the whole thing. That's super fun.
You know what, Rocky? The audio thing, it could be something like maybe you just want to go on really quick to give your followers like a quick message, like not trying to do like a full blown live, but trying to communicate real quick. I think it's perfect actually for that.
Yes, I love that. I'm writing all this down.
Yeah,
I don't care if y'all hate it. I love it.
I wonder one thing too. Like I know there's like people that are in the audience that are podcasters. Like I know Faith is down there, literally has a name podcast at. But I feel like there's people that maybe wouldn't necessarily. How do I say this? I think people wouldn't be their true authentic self sometimes because they're trying to look good on camera. Maybe they're sitting a certain way. Maybe they're trying to be this idea of what it's supposed to be or how they're supposed to present themselves. Or I could see maybe the aspect of audio can lead to like how we feel on Clubhouse. Like you could be laying in bed, you're comfortable, you're snuggled up, and maybe you're having a really good intimate conversation about whatever. You might, I think, in that set place and setting, feel a bit more comfortable to really go into that emotion in that moment versus if you're with like 5 ring lights and you're sitting up straight and everything like that. I feel like you might not. So I don't know. I guess what I'm more or less I'm trying to say is I think it could lead to more comfortability and as like the creator and or for the people that you bring on. If it's like, yo, Rocky's gonna come on, Rocky's not gonna be nervous if they mention her shirt or her hair or whatever it might be. It's just like, oh, I like the value that this person had to say, and that's it. So I don't know. I like it. I haven't been on anybody's live with audio, so if you guys want to do a live with me on audio, let me know. But I haven't tested it out.
Your followers are gonna ask you to turn the video on, right? Like it's like when people call on like FaceTime audio, they're like, "Why don't you turn your camera on?" It's gonna be like that in the comments.
Especially Michael, because he never shows his face. So
yep, we're all gonna be in Michael's comments. Turn your camera on. We want to see a moving face.
It's funny because like Schwan, I mean, I used to be on video all the time. Like I think Schwan's seen me more than like he's seen his own like family and friends at one point in time. But yeah, now I'm a little bit more behind the scenes in the cut. But yeah, I wasn't sure if there's anything else anybody want to talk about, at least in terms of things that I have here. For everybody who's still on liveonclubhouse.com or not, and you just joined, you can go ahead and DM me and I'll send it to you. I'm looking right now on my screen so if you want to check. I got the PDF for this, and then I have a Google Sheet as well. And the Google Sheet, it's the same information. It's just kind of, I don't know, depending on how your brain works. If you're a more creative thinker, you got this. If not, then you got the other one. But yeah, if you want this, let me know. And if there's anybody else who has thoughts on the updates and stuff like that, please feel free to weigh in. If not, maybe we could switch to the whole DM dynamic of things real quick before we end the room, since I think there was some kind of inherent interest in that.
Hey, Michael. I actually work with Instagram on that release for the Instagram DM automation stuff. I can share a little bit about what's coming at the F8 conference. We'll just keep it between us, okay? So there's really 3 new automations coming to Instagram, and you know, I have them actually live on my Instagram account if you want to try them out. The first one is just the ability to respond automatically to certain keywords. So if, you know how people say DM me something and I'll give you an offer. So if you DM me the word inbox, it'll actually trigger an automation, so you can you know, set up those automations to reply to people based on those offers. The second one is to respond automatically to post comments. So that's when people you know, you have a magic keyword like, you know, growth or something like that. If you use that keyword in a post comment, you can trigger an automation. I have that set up on my account as well on my Instagram. If you look at some of the more recent posts, they have some calls to action saying to drop a comment, and you can see how that works. And the last one is it's for shares or story mentions. So you can set up an automation to direct message somebody after they you know, they add your name or your content to their story. So those are the new automations that are coming out in on June 2nd to large accounts. globally. So 10,000 or more followers is probably what they're thinking of. And you know, I'm the founder of Mobile Monkey, so that we're one of the authorized solution providers that are doing that. If there's any questions about that, I can.
I
Uh,
had a I had a comment, Larry, because somebody mentioned earlier about what level of collaboration there is between Facebook, Instagram, and third parties like your company. And I wanted to just say that from my understanding right now, if you go to Facebook for Developers page, there's a section for Messenger platform. And currently, right now, Instagram has rolled out a beta program for Messenger API. What this means is that any third party company, so any company that's not Instagram that wants to build a platform for Messenger, can sign up for the beta and do it. Now, the beta I think now is closed, so other partners that want to do this can sign up for a waitlist to be able to build third party tools. But there's like a bunch, like there's about 30 or almost like 40 people doing these kinds of things. So OmniChat, ManyChat, Sprout Social, Zendesk, Hootsuite, like a bunch of companies. Mobile Monkey is one of these many companies. So there's been a lot of questions about, is this official? What kind of integration is this? Blah, blah, blah. It is official. It is a beta program. And when the API just means that Instagram is allowing third parties to access on the back end Instagram so that they could make a seamless integration. The main thing I wanted to call out is that this is official, and there are many many people doing it. You could go look at the list if you search like Messenger API Instagram on Google. You could find it, and Mobile Monkey is one of the many. I just wanted to call that out because somebody asked about something like this.
sure, and that's very typical that these platform companies will, you know, eventually roll out their APIs to a wider audience. But you know, we've been working with them since September of last year, and it was a smaller number initially. And I think they typically prioritize like the existing messaging solution provider companies. So like we're an official Facebook Messenger solutions provider partner. So that's how we got invited into the beta.
Yeah, I mean, I was using the literal exact software 2 3 years ago. There was a platform called Direct Heroes that built it out, and I was using it. Nobody even knew, and they were working directly with Facebook and Instagram. I will say this, and I'm gonna go on the record to say it, and like hopefully I don't sound super aggressive, but Facebook was kind of a bitch about it because the way they treated people that were already building on this a couple years ago and just completely cutting them out and just stealing their IP. I thought that was just a shitty move, and I mean, Facebook and Instagram kind of are notorious for doing that in general to anybody who builds on their stuff. They just kind of the Amazon. They just take, replicate, and then build out from there. But I will say my stuff was really dialed in. Like I was getting really good open rates and follow ups and creating a bunch of flows. I think at one point I had like 30 different flows built out based on. And flow is like a well, that's what I called it. I forget what the official term is, like the sequence or whatever. But I would have the word like cat, and it would trigger. I mean, I spent hours on my flows just to make sure that it was a really good dialed in kind of conversation. So that definitely hurt me and a lot of the biggest creators on Instagram and YouTube when they did that to a couple people who built the software out. So yeah, I just wanted to, on the record, say if you're in here Instagram and Facebook, that was kind of a shit move, and guys are kind of dickheads for how you're doing it. So yeah, but hopefully, moving forward with the people that they have partnered now, hopefully that doesn't repeat itself again, or they don't just kind of be like, oh, this is working really well, yoink, let's just take this now.
So Michael, I totally agree with you. It's like it's a Facebook world. We're just living in it. When you're doing these things, we kind of have to just, when they say jump, you got to jump, and you got to play by the rules or whatever. There's just a lot of risk, and this is an official, bona fide, API integration. Instagram Heroes or whatever that was. They were just kind of, there wasn't an API, so they were scraping and doing all sorts of stuff that was just a little, it was using what they had available, but it just wasn't an official blessed API that they were using, and so there is a difference. So, anyways, if people want to get access to that technology like today or this week, like if you want, you can just DM me the word inbox, and I'd be happy to have Instagram to turn that on for you, as soon as possible. Like you don't have to wait. We can even get accounts that are smaller than 10,000 followers approved if you meet certain other criteria. So it's Kim_Larry. Just click on my face and in the orange at the bottom, and I'd be happy to help.
Hey, Larry, I had a question. Who decides which accounts get approved or not? Because once you have API access, does Instagram check a bit or data field that says followers to approve it, or do you on your end have a certain set of people you can approve as part of your contract with Instagram, and it's really basically up to you to flip that bit and give access to somebody?
So they're like between now and the end of the month, so the next 3 weeks or so, I have some capability to approve certain accounts, but then starting June 2, they're after the F8 conference, they're going to be rolling this out. Probably like they don't know for sure, but it's like probably based on some criteria, like objective criteria, like the size of your account.
Larry, this is Rocky speaking. I just actually finished the onboarding call, and they said I'm good to go, but it still is not working. So what do I need to do to get them to flip the switch?
Well, how Facebook, they sometimes they say they'll get back to you like right away, and other times it takes a week or two. So just if you just email me, I'll give you my email. It's LarryKim@mobilemonkey.com, and I can raise this to the attention of our customer success manager that's running the Instagram beta.
Thank you.
So, guys, the only other thing I just want to say is like, it's kind of interesting. So Facebook originally created these tools for large brands. Like their intention was to create this for brands on Instagram that have like customer service issues. Like they want to, uh, automate the processing of customer inquiries. But I think I see a bigger opportunity here for creators, which was not actually the intended audience for this software or for this API. Like in my opinion, the really interesting thing about this DM automation is actually the growth angle. So using these automations like a call to action in your posts to to either DM you or leave a comment or to share the post in exchange for some additional value. So say you're like a coach, you could say like, I'm having a mastermind, but I only have 10 spots. Share this post, and I'll give you the registration link, right? So you're you're setting it up in such a way that you're encouraging people to take the actions that you were hoping for people to do. I mean, everyone posts content on Instagram with hopes of getting comments, shares, and direct messages, of course. But now you can do it in a slightly more overt way, while promising some kind of additional value, without having to manually fulfill that promise. Like you can set up an automation to do the fulfillment. So I think that's like a more interesting angle for these tools than the original, just automating customer success, customer service stuff. Like we're finding that we've got accounts sending out tens of thousands, like 30,000-40,000 messages a day, and growing their accounts like crazy, just by leveraging these different automations and incorporating it into the content creation process.
That's an interesting point. I actually wanted to connect that to what Michael brought up earlier about this other people that were scraping stuff and then Facebook shut down their access. If I was Facebook and Instagram, this strategy of opening up an official API so that third-party developers like Larry and many others could build platforms, from Instagram and Facebook's point of view, this is really great because they're going to have access to a lot of this data of how people use it. Like, for example, Larry talked about this use case of, creators growing their brand using these automations. And if Facebook and Instagram see that a lot of these use cases are taking off, from their point of view, it's very smart because now Facebook could use that data to develop their own first party tools to allow these automations that are more seamlessly integrated into the platform versus the third party APIs. And one of the advantages to that is that, you'll get more stability in the long term and it'll be more seamless. And of course, Facebook and Instagram is going to give themselves much more access than they would any third-party developers. And it reminds me of all these creator tools that they've now built, like scheduling posts. Like it used to be you'd use Hootsuite to like schedule your post, right? That was like a third-party application that had API access. But now, Facebook is building out their own scheduling software. They've already built it out, launched it. It's the only one that I've used. And so it's kind of strategically beneficial for them to allow people like Larry to have access to this data. And again, it just reminds you that these corporations, they don't do anything by accident. It's always strategic for their best interest. And I'm saying this as somebody who has worked at Google and Netflix many years. Like I know the game. So it is interesting. What Michael said reminded me of that. But yeah, thanks.
Sorry, I'm like over here typing. I'm trying to respond to everybody to send the Google Drive link. So give me a moment. I accepted everybody. There was quite a lot. But yeah, I'm sorry. I was a little distracted. I'm just over here like copying and pasting the link and stuff. But okay, well, I think if there's no last thoughts, I know there's a bunch of people on stage who didn't really talk, and there was people that were on stage and were able to speak, but wasn't sure if there's any last reminder, little things that you want to say about the updates. Before that, real quick, two things. I'm thinking about doing another room. I tried to organize this 2 weeks ago, and I almost had it, but then the people from Tencent bowed out. But I'm trying to do a room where I'm comparing the Chinese apps and software and social media over there and how it is playing a really, really big integral role in America. So kind of bringing on people that are marketers, some of the top, like the Gary Vee versions in China, and some of the people from Tencent and ByteDance to talk about what they're doing specifically in China. And then for anybody who's in the Western world, you can kind of, draw some correlations of like, oh, that's what we should anticipate. That's going to be coming out. That's what they're kind of moving towards. Because if you do anything in China in the social media space, they are massively ahead of us. So I thought that might be kind of interesting. So I don't know when that'll be, to be honest. Probably sometime next week, but maybe just look out for that. I'll probably make a calendar event. But with that being said, if there's anybody who had any last remarks, feel free to chime in. If not, I'll just kind of end the room now.
You're awesome.
Hey, I did shoot you a mic. Yeah, you are awesome, brother. And I shot you a DM just now. But thanks for the room. I really, really love to hear about these features and how everything that you just brought up on stage could actually integrate with some of this other crazy stuff happening. So big thanks, my man.
Yeah, thank you, Michael.
Yeah, no worries. I'm trying to do this like every week or every other week or something like that, so long as there's actually updates. But I'm just busy, so I'm trying to keep up with it. But yeah, I'll try to do these more frequently if possible. It also depends if there's like enough things that are coming out. Because there's only like 2. I'll be like, okay, that's just a waste of everybody's time.
This is Rochelle. Michael, would you be okay if I DM'd you later this week? Not tonight, but like maybe tomorrow sometime. Because I did have some questions about the Instagram Live captioning that they're beta testing right now. Did you know anything about that?
Yeah, that was in the last one that we did in the PDF. So if anything, I'll send you last week's that explains it and goes into wasn't last week. It was like a month ago, I'll be honest. But that last one, and then you could just DM me. We could chat about it because there's a bunch of stuff that they're doing with captions that I'm like, finally should happen. By the way, though, I don't know about y'all, but the Instagram story captions, I kind of hate it. Like I like the feature, but the way they display visually the captions, I just feel like it's kind of ugly, to be honest, personally. But yeah, if you want, go ahead and DM me. We can chat about it a little bit more.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, well, if nobody else got anything to say, I'm just going to end the room. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully it was valuable. If you guys want everything that I just talked about, DM me. I'll send it your way. I'm doing it right now. And yeah, that's all I got. Have a good night or day, depending on where you're at.
Thanks for taking the time.
Thanks, Michael.
Thanks,
Thank you, Michael. Great job.
Please leave your message.